Akuma, known in Japan as Goki, meaning Great Demon, is a recurring character in the Street Fighter series, a powerful warrior focused on mastering Satsui no Hado, surge of murderous intent. The sole reason for his existence is to hone his combat skills through battling and defeating strong adversaries. Rarely showing any signs of emotion, aside from occasional bursts of anger, he seldom smiles. He takes his training seriously and ruthlessly deals with those who dare to challenge him. Often referring to himself as the resident of hell and the evil incarnate, Akuma despises arrogance and foolish behavior, especially those who rely on means other than their fists for fighting to gain power. His quest for worthy opponents often involves seeking someone capable of killing him. Akuma harbors disdain for his brother Guken because he does not succumb to the dark side of their fighting style. He also blames Guken for sealing the power of darkness in Ryu, thus preventing Ryu from accessing his true potential. This drives Akuma to abandon his planned fight with Ryu, believing that only by releasing the dark energy within him can Ryu defeat him, hoping for that day to come. Akuma and his brother Guken learned martial arts from the master Gotetsu, which included elements of karate, judo, and kempo. Akuma also learned the Shun Goku Satsu, an incredibly deadly technique that puts the opponent in great peril. As the brothers progressed in their training, a conflict arose over the true nature of their fighting style and the path to mastering it. Guken rejected the violent nature and Satsui no Hado of their fighting style, leaving to establish his own dojo, while Akuma continued his training and vowed to use his fighting style as he saw fit. Akuma embraced the philosophy of Satsui no Hado, forced to abandon any compassion he held towards humans, fueling his lust for combat until death, unlike his brother, who could use Satsui no Hado without succumbing to its dark side. After Akuma's return from his island, he challenged Gotetsu and fought him in a deadly match to prove that he surpassed him. Akuma killed his master, who died content to see his student surpass him. He took his late master's beaded necklace and placed it around his neck. Guken came to visit his former master, only to be shocked to find his lifeless body, shocked to see that his younger brother killed their master Gotetsu, who said nothing and vanished into the forest. After many years, Akuma fought Guken, while witnessing the young duo Ryu and Ken sparring. Akuma told Guken that he is not strong enough to face him without the power of darkness. Guken replied that fighting is not about death and destruction, accusing Akuma of disrespecting their master's name. Akuma told his brother that Gotetsu never truly understood the meaning of the fight and that he was a fool for not using Satsui no Hado to its fullest. The fight continued, and Guken won. Akuma told his brother to kill him, but Guken had no intention of killing his family, prompting Akuma to call him weak for prolonging the life of a strong rival, declaring that he would return. After 2 years, Akuma returned to Guken's dojo and fought him in a battle. Akuma believed that he killed him and did not know that Guken survived somehow by emptying his soul, being in a coma only. Ken witnessed the attack as he ran to the dojo, but only found Guken lying on the ground. Knowing who was behind this, Ken confronted Akuma in the forest and fought him, only to be defeated. After Ken's defeat, Akuma disappeared without a trace. Akuma begins to search for fighters worthy of challenging him, observing in the shadows, watching small tournaments and street battles, intensely looking for someone who might be able to match his strength. In the end, he faces a man named Goki, and they engage in a dangerous battle, but the latter manages to survive Akuma's malevolent energy by emptying his soul at the right moment. Akuma starts to wonder if this man is the worthy opponent he's been seeking, sensing that not everything is as it seems. When Goki starts bleeding, Akuma's suspicions are confirmed. His opponent is sick, and the fight is not fair. After being thrown to the ground, Goki tells Akuma to kill him, and Akuma, enraged, leaves him in anger. After the fight, Akuma becomes obsessed with Ryu, hoping to awaken Satsui no Hado within his adversary. In the end, Ryu finds Akuma's island and challenges him. The intense battle concludes with Ryu emerging victorious. In reality, Akuma was merely testing him. Akuma regains his composure, telling Ryu to find him again when he masters Satsui no Hado. He strikes the ground with great force and disappears. The island collapses around Ryu, leaving him pondering Akuma's words, wondering with excitement if he will ever face a powerful opponent capable of killing him in battle. This idea drives him to find a desolate cave, also known as Kiga Cave, where he starts training again, awaiting the day he will fight Ryu once more. At some point, he defeats and kills a Thai boxing fighter who was about to challenge the champion, Adin. Adin sees this as a challenge and sets out to find Akuma, wanting to prove that he is the strongest. Akuma easily wins, but instead of killing Adin, he departs, considering his defeated opponent unworthy of further combat. He is then confronted by Sagat, who refuses to let him fight Bison. Akuma ignores him and engages in the fight. Both decide to end the battle after realizing their primary goal is the same, defeating Bison. Akuma despises Bison for not relying solely on his fists. Akuma emerges victorious, leaving Bison suffering severely from the attack. Akuma did not officially enter the Second World Warrior Tournament but observed the events in the hope of finding a sufficient challenge. He also challenged Bison, regardless of whether Bison accepted the challenge or not. Sometime before the Third World Warrior Tournament, Ryu and Akuma clashed, with Akuma dominating the fight. While berating Ryu for rejecting the power of darkness, Ryu finds the strength to recover and fight back. However, Ken intervenes, cutting the fight short and forcing Akuma to leave the country. During the events of the Seth tournament, Akuma continues his training, sensing that Satsui no Hado is resurfacing within Ryu. Immediately, he starts to locate Ryu and assists him in realizing this power so he can attempt to kill him in battle. Like the other tournaments, Akuma does not officially enter but remains in the shadows. Later on, Ryu is found unconscious in the care of his brother Guken. Akuma notices that his brother has mastered the power of nothingness. The brothers engage in a destructive battle with Ryu as the next opponent. Both survive, and Guken saves Ryu from Akuma. Akuma continues his training and search for a worthy rival. Meanwhile, he destroys an entire forest with his power, facing and killing Jin. Afterward, he defeats Nikali, and in a dream, he sees Ryu refusing the evil energy. Akuma goes for a fight with Ryu, throws him to the ground, and then leaves for an unknown destination.